match. It's where 2 teams of 4 will attempt to settle their score. Now, the rules of the Lethal Lockdown are very simple. 1 man from each team will enter the 6 sides of steel, and they will compete for 5 minutes. At the end of that period, the team with the advantage will send another man into the ring, and that will be 2-on-1 for 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes thereafter, another man on an alternating basis will enter the ring until finally all 8 men are involved. Then the cage roof will lower, filled with weapons, and the first pinfall will determine the winning team. Now, being a team captain is very important. That's why all the TNA talent is here. Because tonight, right here on Impact, we're going to determine the team captains for the Lethal Lockdown. And we will do it for the first time ever with a 20-man cage gauntlet match right here in this ring. In the gauntlet match, it's very simple. 2 men will start. Every 2 minutes, another man will enter. If you're pinned or if you submit, you're out of there. And the last 2 men in the gauntlet match tonight will be the team captains and earn the right to pick their teams for that Lethal Lockdown match on April 19th. Gentlemen, I wanted you to hear this to make sure there are no questions and everything is clear, because it's a new day in TNA and everyone will be given the same opportunity. So
well, special privileges and a separate entrance for Kurt Angle and the Main Event Mafia, as Angle, Booker T, and Scott Steiner will be among the 20 competitors in the Captain's 6 Sides of Steel Gauntlet later tonight. Now, speaking for everyone at TNA, we want to thank you for breaking yet another ratings record last week, as Jeff Jarrett and Mick Foley versus Kurt Angle and Sting was the most watched match in Impact history, and you know that Angle loved it when Mick Foley snapped, when he smashed Sting with the steel chair, a move that has turned TNA completely upside down. We'll hear from both Sting and Foley tonight in anticipation of their world title match at Lockdown, but now it's time to get the Main Event Mafia spin on tonight's Cage Gauntlet.
Kurt, I called a meeting of everybody involved. You decide to make a grand entrance late, but I assume you have a question or you wouldn't have come here to the ring.
You talk about same opportunity. How are you going to give these jabronis the same opportunity when you know the Main Event Mafia is going to be in the match tonight?
Yeah. You have the opportunity just like all the other gentlemen have the opportunity.
I'm not done talking. Not only are they not going to get the same opportunity, they will get no opportunity. You see, the Main Event Mafia is going to position me tonight as team captain in this match. And when it comes down to the final 2, which I will be one of, I will win the match and gain the advantage for my team going into Lockdown. Then I will pick my team, which will consist of Booker, Kevin, and Scotty. Now, the Main Event Mafia has been dominating since October.
Bam!
And we will continue to dominate throughout the spring, throughout summer, throughout fall, throughout winter, and throughout 2010. And there's not a damn thing that you or these jabronis can do about it.
That smile on the face of Jim Cornette indicates we're about to get some relief from Kurt Angle. It's TNA founder Jeff Jarrett. We know he's not afraid of a confrontation, and check this out, he's dressed to wrestle.
Kurt,
The only J-Bro I see around here is you. Now, you told me to man up last week. Well, I'm going to take you up on that. Because tonight, I'm going to be one of the 20 competitors. And the only reason I'm going to be one of the 20 competitors is to assure that you will not be a team captain at Lethal Lockdown. So, Kurt, why don't you choke on that, slap nut?
Oh, Angle gets rocked by those right hands by Jarrett.
Cheap shot by Jeff Jarrett. Another cheap shot again. An example of Jeff Jarrett sticking his nose in where it doesn't belong.
Oh, the battle lines are drawn. What's going to happen if Jarrett and Angle come head-to-head tonight in the gauntlet?
One of these guys is going to step up. I can assure you one of them is going to step up. I am going to take you out.
I'm going to get you, man. You're done, Jeff. You're not going to make it to the next.
I'll take you out of it tonight. I assure you. I'll take you out.
When it comes to AJ Styles, tonight's Captain's Six Sides of Steel Gauntlet, totally different from his recent rivalry with Booker T in capturing the Legends Championship at Destination X, becoming the first ever TNA Grand Slam champion. It was all about the one-on-one matchup. Tonight, as we determine who the captains will be for Lethal Lockdown, that singles match mindset, that mentality is good for only the first 2 minutes, because from that point forward, until all 20 competitors have entered the cage, you are constantly thinking about one thing: survival.
Well, the key obviously is to be one of the last people to enter inside the cage, because it's so hard to make it through. When you consider 20-minute a gauntlet, let's be honest, the odds that AJ Styles and Abyss are there at the end, slim and none.
You think about the history of Lethal Lockdown, the importance that this match, and you categorized it earlier as the most violent Six Sides of Steel cage match that you've ever seen, most brutal as well. The importance going forward when it comes to TNA and leadership roles, really, that cannot be overstated.
Boy, absolutely. I mean, when you become a captain in Lethal Lockdown, it's up to you to pick the rest of your team, and it's up to you to pick the guys that you can trust, that you can believe in. I mean, think about how important it is for Kurt Angle to win this tonight. I mean, think about it. He's already told you who he's going to pick. Scott Steiner, Booker T, Kevin Nash. I mean, you're talking about the strongest faction in TNA, people that will watch each other's backs like nobody else. I mean, it really is important to have that confidence in your team members when it comes to Lethal Lockdown.
And another history lesson, out of the 20 competitors who are vying tonight to become captains, only 2 of those 20 have ever been captains in the past at Lethal Lockdown, and those 2 are Jeff Jarrett and Kurt Angle.
Now, that's an interesting side note, and I'll tell you what, if I was a betting man, I'd probably bet that Jeff Jarrett will probably be the last man out here. I mean, coincidentally, he'll probably get the luck of the draw.
This is all about the luck of the draw, not about a coincidence or any other kind of conspiracy theory that you may have going on between your ears.
Well, I'll tell you, it's one of those situations where here's a guy that cannot keep himself out of this. It's another one of those things where he's got to put himself into this gauntlet. He's got to make sure that he does everything he can to break up the Main Event Mafia, when he ought to just let it roll, because the Main Event Mafia, good for business.
And the reason that Jarrett's involved, at the insistence of one man, Kurt Angle.
Ladies and gentlemen, the third participant, Alex Shelley.
One half of the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley, becomes competitor number 3. You see, the clothesline misses, but then he sprays the water right in the eyes of the Monster Abyss.
I mean, one of the key things, especially for these young guys, and Alex Shelley's somebody that's in great physical condition. We know that is, you can't burn yourself out. I mean, Mike, even you'll agree That's the hardest thing to do. You get so fired up, your emotions get involved. We still got 17 more people to come down there. You've got to find ways to catch a nap if you can and get some rest, if you know what I mean. Find a corner and stay out of everybody's way.
I mean, that's easy for you to say. Pace yourself in a match where you're locked inside the 6 sides of steel cage, where the other competitors are coming at you from every angle, trying to pin you, trying to make you submit to get you out of the match. I think it's easier said than done.
I tell you what, Mike, hold on. Let's take another replay of this shot here by AJ Styles. This is going to be hard to keep doing through the course of the night, but nobody does that flying forearm better. We'll give him that.
Great springboard move by Styles as he takes down the much bigger competitor, the Monster Abyss, and that was just what I was talking about. There's an example for you right there.
It still galls me, though, to see AJ Styles wearing that Legends belt. Again, I know he won it in the matchup, but I get irked when I think about how Jim Cornette tricked Booker T into signing the contract and putting that belt on the line.
So what now? Booker T doesn't read English? Is that your latest beef?
Oh, you saw how he goaded him into signing that thing. The bottom line, what I'm saying is, if I'm AJ, you better hope that somebody gets a hold of Booker before Booker gets in there, because you know where Booker's going after. You know who he's going after, AJ Styles.
Now, the bottom line is that you can change the subject quicker than anybody I've seen when all of a sudden you don't have a defense for it.
Alex Shelley, pretty impressive here in this situation. One of the things that he's going to have to hope for is that Chris Sabin can come in there. You always want to have teammates. Always want to have teammates in a situation like this when you talked about survival. As Jay Lethal coming in, maybe him and AJ will work together, but then again, it's all for one and one for all sometimes in a situation like this.
And at the same time, yes, it's great to have someone who's your partner to back you up, to watch your back. But think of the position that somebody like Alex Shelley's been in, and everything that Shelley and Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns, have done to Lethal Consequences in the past few months. Not good to have an enemy like Black Machismo Jay Lethal if you're Alex Shelley.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have a feeling you're going to have more than one enemy in this thing before it's over with. But the good news is we're almost a quarter of the way done, and not one member of the Main Event Mafia has been sent into the cage. The longer they can go, the better the odds. And I mean, those odds are going to go up significantly if this thing keeps going like this.
That time I can't disagree with you. It's all about the math. The later that you're in, the better chance you have to survive. Corner shot by Lethal. So look how quickly that Shelley follows up and drilled him with the clothesline. We have to take a commercial break. The cameras are rolling. Don't go anywhere. When we return, more of the Captain 6 Sides of Steel Gauntlet. And we are back on Impact, the continuation of the 20-man Captain 6 Sides of Steel Gauntlet as we determine who the leaders, who the captains will be for the Lethal Lockdown match in Philadelphia. During the commercial break, Chris Sabin was competitor number 5 to enter. That gave the Motor City Machine Guns the early numbers game edge, and now it's wrestler number 6, the Blueprint Matt Morgan. We have yet to have anyone eliminated. Check out this replay of the Guns working together.
Well, this is what's so important about having your partner, your tag team partner in the ring. Look at the Motor City Machine Guns, just using each other to their advantage and taking everybody out. I mean, it really is such an advantage. Now think about this. We've already got 6 competitors now. Of the 14 left, 3 of them we know for sure are Main Event Mafia. You think the Motor City Machine Guns work good together? Just think about when Steiner and Booker T and, of course, the Olympic gold medalists get in there. I mean, it's going to be a free-for-all. I mean, it's going to be a turkey shoot for those guys.
Freshest man in the gauntlet, also the most impactful and most effective, the Blueprint Matt Morgan, throwing Black Machismo Jay Lethal into the side of the steel cage. Now he's got the phenomenal AJ Styles throttle, went for the chokeslam, great flip over, and there's the Pele by Styles. A dazed and confused Blueprint gets shoved right into the block hole slam by Abyss. Abyss on Morgan, 2, 3, Matt Morgan is out.
Morgan is eliminated.
Let's show you again how this all happened. It was the Pele that set it up, but you can see as AJ flings him into Abyss, that Black Hole Slam, and that's our first elimination here in the gauntlet.
Abyss has Sabin in trouble in the corner. Sabin fights out. Series of elbow shots to the side of the head of the monster. Shelley's got AJ on the far side, but here comes one half of LAX.
And the good news is, again, not a member of the Main Event Mafia. We're now looking at 7 people have been inside this gauntlet here, and of course, no surprise, Jeff Jarrett's not been out as well.
Much like we saw with the blueprint Matt Morgan, the fresh man, Homicide from LAX, taking it to both members of the Motor City Machine Guns. He's on fire while you see bodies laid out all over the 6 sides of steel. Homicide turns his attention to Shelley, and there goes Alex Shelley directly into the cage. He's got Saban now, and there goes Saban face first right into the steel.
Mike, I know you don't want to hear it, but think about this. 13 people left. Nobody has 3 members left in this gauntlet that they can work together with. The Main Event Mafia have 3 of the best that's ever been inside of a ring. They're all still going to be available. I mean, you think about everything that's going on and how Jeff Jarrett's tried to take the Main Event Mafia out of this thing. How on earth is Jeff Jarrett going to be able to take Kurt Angle out of this when he's got Scott Steiner, Booker T to back him up?
Well, first you accuse Jeff Jarrett of, through conspiracy, of entering the gauntlet late. Well, if that was the case, why wouldn't Jeff Jarrett have the 3 members of the Main Event Mafia, Angle, Booker, and Steiner, come out 1, 2, 3, and have the toughest path to winning the captain's slot?
Well, that'd be a little too obvious if he was to do that. But the bottom line is Jeff Jarrett's not going to have Mick Foley out there to watch his back. I mean, it's one of them things where he just couldn't keep himself out of this thing. And, you know, you got to wonder what the founder of TNA is thinking. He needs to worry about running this company and not worry about who becomes team captain in Lethal Lockdown.
This may be a situation where, as the founder of TNA, Jeff Jarrett, said earlier, one of the young Lions steps up tonight. One of the young Lions wins this and becomes the captain at Lethal Lockdown.
All I see is a bunch of tired Lions right now. And look at this. Here comes Scott Steiner, and he's going to clean house.
Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner has entered the cage. Steiner line takes down Homicide. There's one for Shelley. There's one for Saban. He is totally dominant. I'll give you that. Don't go anywhere. More of the captain's 6 sides of steel is still to come. During the commercial break, LAX's Homicide, the second competitor eliminated from the gauntlet. Consequences Creed also entered at number 9, and he and Black Machismo worked as a team.
Showing again how important it is to have a teammate out there that you can rely on when it's a matter of survival in that steel cage. Now watch Jay Lethal here on the top rope.
Great move by Lethal. Coming off the top rope, right into a double pin on both members of the Guns, but you see the frustration from Black Machismo as both Saban and Shelley were able to escape before the 3 count. And at this point, only Matt Morgan and Homicide have been eliminated.
I'll tell you what, you got to give props out to AJ Styles and Abyss, as these guys have been in there from the very beginning, and it's so hard to stay in. They've got to be absolutely, completely exhausted as you still see some double team action, but who's going to be number 10?
Entrant number 10 is the War Machine, Rhino!
And here comes the War Machine with determination right into the cage. The shots on Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, and now look at him put the boots to Steiner.
Well, you can see where he went to right from the start. He goes right for the Main Event Mafia because he knows that those are the most dangerous people in this gauntlet, as Rhino goes right after him. I mean, he's not even looking at anybody else.
That's because he's not afraid of competition. You would normally think the strategy would be to take out the weak link in this match, somebody that's been out there from the outset. Maybe like a Styles, maybe like Abyss. They've been out there for nearly 20 minutes, but Rhino is proving it against Scott Steiner.
Well, that would be the smart thing to do, is go out and get rid of people and eliminate people while you've got them worn out. What's he do? He goes after Scott Steiner, and he can't eliminate him. I mean, all that's going to do is wear him down as well.
Steiner and Rhino square off in one corner. The original 2 entrants, Abyss and AJ Styles, fighting it out. You see Lethal Consequences, the Motor City Machine Guns, battling as well.
I mean, it's just absolute chaos in there right now as everybody just trying to become that captain at Lethal Lockdown. I mean, folks, think about what happens at Philadelphia. The ceiling drops down, and I mean, there are weapons coming down with that ceiling when it locks on to the 6 sides of steel, and then you're going to have 8 men in one of the most brutal, violent, bloody matches that we've ever had in TNA history, and every one seems to outdo the one before.
Creed from the middle rope. Face plant. drives Shelley right down to the canvas. Here's the cover, here's the pin, 2 count only, Sabin in to break it up and save his Guns tag team partner.
So lucky for Shelley and Sabin to have each other at this time as they've been able to save each other on numerous occasions. That is so important.
Knees of Shelley driven into the face of Creed. That opens it up for Lethal to take him over. And here comes Jeff Jarrett. Here comes the King of the Mountain. And if your conspiracy was accurate, why is Jarrett out here? Why is he in the before Angle? And what the hell did Angle just do? Angle's not even in this match.
Kurt Angle said that he was going to make sure that Jeff Jarrett never saw that steel cage. And if there's one thing we know about Kurt Angle, he's a man of his word.
Oh, that's ridiculous. A man of his word.
Oh, come on, you heard Jeff Jarrett earlier telling all those young guys to take out Kurt. Well, Kurt, this is survival. Kurt had to do this. I mean, think about it. Jeff Jarrett's goal the entire time was to make sure that Kurt didn't win this thing. Kurt Angle's just doing what he feels he has to do.
And security having absolutely no luck keeping Angle away from Jarrett. Watch out for the chair! Oh, he's trying to break his arm.
Tell you what, you got to be careful what you wish for. Jeff Jarrett did not have to put himself in this gauntlet. This is on him. He put himself out here, and Kurt Angle told him. And then Jeff took that cheap shot at the beginning when he punched Kurt Angle. Well, I'll tell you what, look at that look in Kurt Angle's face. He did what he said he would do.
Jeff Jarrett has been severely injured. We've got to take another look. Watch the impact of this steel chair on the arm and shoulder of Jeff Jarrett. First the attack by Angle, and Angle's not even in this match, and then with the arm exposed over the steel guardrail. Oh, again and again we see the shot, we see the impact. He's absolutely trying to break the arm of Jeff Jarrett.
I mean, that's just a situation where you're just so frustrated of somebody always meddling in your affairs, always trying to put himself in there when you're trying to get the job done. I'll tell you, Kurt Angle, he went right for Jeff Jarrett, eliminated him from this matchup. As you can see, Jeff Jarrett in pain down there, and there's no way he's going to get in that steel cage.
TNA officials, TNA trainer attending to Jeff Jarrett and checking on his arm as one half of No Limit from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Naito is next into the cage.
Well, the gauntlet's got to go on. I mean, you can't sit there and worry about somebody being hurt. They'll have to take care of him as it is.
Yeah, I know you're not worried, that's for sure.
The bottom line is right now is we still got 2 more members of the Main Event Mafia that haven't even been introduced yet. And now with Jeff Jarrett out of the picture, things are looking pretty good for those guys, for one of them, if not Kurt Angle, to be a team captain there at Lethal Lockdown.
Naito having a lot of success against Black Machismo. Off the slam, he goes for the cover, but Jay Lethal is able to kick out as we get another close-up look at the condition of Jeff Jarrett. And this does not look good at all. And boy, what a shot that was by Kurt Angle with that steel chair against the unprotected, against the exposed arm of Jarrett.
Well, I mean, it never had to be this way. I mean, that was one of those situations where this thing was set up to make Lethal Lockdown perfect like it always is. And again, it was where Jeff put himself in this matchup. And that's one of those things where, you know what, he'll regret it every day from this day on.
Lethal shot off into the corner. Sabin follows up, flying forearm. Shelley up the back of his own partner. He drills Machismo in the corner. And did you ever think you'd see this? The rival tag teams, No Limit and the Motor City Machine Guns, they've been fighting over the New Japan Pro Wrestling tag titles. They're working together as we see the trainer still attending to Jarrett.
Well, you want to find as many friends as you can inside that steel cage. There's no doubt about it. And nice move there by Naito, but it to no avail. And he hits nothing but canvas.
Twisting moonsault does not connect. Lethal combination by Lethal, and he puts Shelley away.
Has been eliminated.
Another close-up look at the trainer attending to Jeff Jarrett. Alex Shelley is eliminated from the captain's gauntlet.
Here he comes.
Representing the Main Event Mafia, Kurt Angle.
Boy, things have changed now. Is Scott Steiner able to hold on as Kurt Angle trying to make it? Look at this.
He's not concerned about getting into the cage at all. He's concerned about eliminating Jeff Jarrett.
Well, it was obvious. I think Jeff Jarrett lunged after him or something. Again,
nothing of the sort happened like that.
Kurt Angle's just reacting to the situation. Jeff was in his way. He was blocking his way into the steel cage.
Stomping on the already injured shoulder of Jeff Jarrett. You can see the trainers once again trying to check on him as Angle immediately goes into the ankle lock on Creed, and he taps.
Oh, Consequences Creed didn't have a chance as he taps out right away as Kurt Angle comes in with a vengeance, and look at this. He turns Chris Sabin inside out.
And Director of Security Hack Myers told me as he went by the table that he and the trainer, they're trying to stabilize the shoulder of Jeff Jarrett. Chris Sabin's done.
Kurt Angle eliminates another one. I mean, he's been in there 2 seconds, already eliminated 2, making it 3 people. Kurt Angle's unreal.
Black Machismo Jay Lethal is out. Angle's on a rampage.
With Jeff Jarrett gone, who's going to stop him?
During the commercial break, one half of the No Limit Tag Team Naito was eliminated. Also, Shane Sewell has entered the cage, 6 men inside the cage. Kurt Angle, Scott Steiner representing the Mafia, Shane Sewell just in, plus Rhino. And keep in mind, Abyss and AJ Styles, they've been in from the very start.
Even more important than that is think about this. Scott Steiner, Kurt Angle working so well as a team now, and we haven't even seen the 3rd member of the Main Event Mafia, Booker T, as you see Shane Sewell being eliminated by Kurt Angle, and since Kurt's been in there, I'm counting, 4 or 5 people that he's eliminated from the moment he's gotten in the cage.
Consequences Creed, Chris Sabin, Black Machismo Jay Lethal, and now Shane Sewell for elimination by Kurt Angle.
So important at this point of the game because people are getting tired. People have been in there a long time. To be able to have somebody in there to watch your back. One thing about Bashir, we don't think he's got a friend in the building, but he is fresh and he goes right after the War Machine, and you got to give him credit for that when you think about what he's done to Rhino in the past. He's going right after him right now.
One of the heated rivals of Sheikh Abdul Bashir, the War Machine Rhino, feeling his wrath. And of course it was the Sheik who was tied upside down last week on Impact by an out-of-control Samoa Joe. Obviously somebody cut him down.
Well, he's just glad to be able to physically perform inside that 6 sides of steel after we've seen Samoa Joe do the crazy out-of-control antics that he's done. But right now, Bashir going right after Rhino, got him twisted between the ropes. But again, what amazes me is the longer this thing goes, with no Main Event Mafia members eliminated, and Jeff Jarrett now out of the picture, who's to stop him, Mike?
Angle drills Styles in the back of the head. Close-up look at Steiner with his knee right across the face of Abyss. Sheikh Abdul Bashir with the beatdown on the War Machine, and there's the snap suplex takeover. Angle immediate cover, going to try and take out another one, but Styles kicks out.
Real treat for the fans here tonight in Orlando as they get to see this all inside the 6 sides of steel. But in Philadelphia, every single matchup will be inside the steel cage, brand new steel cage to boot, and I'm telling you folks, it's one of those pay-per-views. To me, it's the best one of the year just because of its unpredictability.
Styles barely able to get back up to his feet. And as soon as he does, you saw the shots by Angle, but then the desperation move as AJ connects with the kick.
AJ just doesn't have enough left in the tank to go over there and pin Kurt because he's been in there so long. And look at this.
I guess your plan is coming to fruition, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's what you have to do. You have to make sure you've got everybody in there to be at full strength. And that's exactly what they planned at the beginning. And look at this, you see now, Steiner holding AJ, looking at Booker, and Booker goes right after him.
Booker trying to gain revenge for losing his Legends Championship to Styles back at Destination X. A weary AJ is drilled with the bookend. Booker the cover, and yeah, Booker picks the bones and gets the 3 count on AJ. Styles is eliminated.
How fast was that? I mean, he went right for maybe the strongest competitor in the ring at that time. That's what they've got to do. AJ Styles is so unpredictable. Booker T gave him the bookend, and that's it. As AJ's now done, and you can see Booker just giving him a little what for good measure.
Booker with his focus totally on an eliminated AJ Styles. He has no idea. Rhino's got him with the gore. Hebner counts 1. Hebner counts 2. 3. Booker's out.
Not the way the main event Mafia planned that is, again, you have to have eyes in the back of your head. That's one of those situations
Booker T
where
has been eliminated.
Booker T was just so infatuated with AJ that he forgot about Rhino.
And all of a sudden, the huge advantage with the main event Mafia having 3 men in the cage, well, that's down to 2 with the elimination of Booker T. And here we go. Booker and AJ aren't done yet.
Well, I mean, Booker T wants to get that Legends belt back, so this feud between him and AJ Styles isn't going to stop anytime soon. The bottom line is Kurt Angle can only rely on Scott Steiner now, and Scott Steiner can only rely on Kurt Angle if any one of these 2 members of the main event Mafia want to be standing at the end.
3, 2, 1. Representing No Limit, Yujiro.
And as Yujiro makes his way into the cage, keep in mind that his tag team partner Naito has already been eliminated. He's out there all by himself, but he is fresh, and he just caught Steiner with the kick.
Well, if the guy doesn't have communication problems to begin with, he could have really used his tag team partner out there. Kurt Angle in just in time to break that one up, but you know, it really would have been helpful for him to have his partner, but the bottom line now is he's on an island and he's going to be looking for help from anybody.
Bashir putting the boots to Abyss. Steiner and Angle work as a team against Yujiro from No Limit.
The bottom line now is you've got to get these people eliminated quickly, as fast as you can. Be able to catch yourself a little bit of breath because you're going to need it down the home stretch. And it's amazing that Abyss, I got to be honest, is still in there. He can't have hardly anything left in the tank.
And he's being taken into the corner by Sheikh Abdul Bashir. Bashir had Abyss held. Angle drilling him with punch after punch. And the monster is barely able to stand, and he's not, as he now goes down and crumbles right in the corner.
Well, you can see what Bashir's doing here. He's piggybacking right now off of Kurt Angle, using Kurt to help him try to get rid of somebody. Kurt, of course, smart enough to take help.
You ever think that you would see the Olympic gold medalist do that to Bashir? And now Bashir and Scott Steiner, and a handshake between Angle. You know that Angle's out here only for himself. Angle slam on the Sheik, stick a fork in Bashir.
I don't know what Bashir was thinking.
Bashir has been eliminated.
I mean, the bottom line is Kurt will use whoever he has to use to get the job done, but when it's time to take you out, you're going out.
Angle and Steiner continue the main event Mafia double team on a weary Abyss who's doing everything within his power to fight back.
3, 2, 1. The next participant, showtime, Eric Young.
Eric Young right now, fresh, coming in. But look at this double teamwork by the main event Mafia on Abyss, and Abyss is gone.
And then the gang pin as both Steiner and Angle get on the 350-pound monster, the double pin, and yes, Abyss, one of the first 2, is finally out.
See, Eric Young made a mistake there. He should have came right in, gone after Kurt or Scott when their backs were to him. I mean, it just wasn't a smart move. You don't leave those guys standing when you come in fresh. Now all they're going to do is try to regroup. You see Rhino realizes it. He goes over there, and now Eric Young's got Kurt up, but that's where having your partner in there comes in handy.
Just when it looked like Eric Young was going to hit that Death Valley driver on Angle, Steiner helps him. Angle doubles him over with the boot. There's the Angle slam again. He's going to get another one.
Here we go. Does Eric Young have enough? Not enough.
Showtime, Eric Young has been eliminated.
Kurt Angle.
What a performance by Kurt Angle in this captain's gauntlet.
Boy, you aren't kidding, man. This guy's been unbelievable. That's what, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? I don't know how many he's eliminated, but he's eliminated more than everybody, that's for darn sure.
Yeah, those were the legal eliminations, not to talk about what he illegally did to Jeff Jarrett, taking him out, and there's the gore that leads to the elimination of Yujiro.
Quick going back to that situation. Jeff Jarrett made that bed. Jeff Jarrett lied in it. Look at this, Rhino! Rhino's gone!
Angle slam eliminates the War Machine.
This is unreal. Think about this. Scott Steiner and Kurt Angle are standing alone. It doesn't matter who comes in. The bottom line is these 2 will be waiting for him. Oh, wait a minute. What we got here?
Well, there's still time left on the countdown clock. And Angle drops down and rolls the shoulder. Oh, they're making a farce out of this now.
Well, that's what you got to do. You got to stay loose. You got time to go here. Stay loose. Have fun with it. Your plan has gone to perfection. This is unreal. Here comes Hernandez, and he couldn't be coming into a worse hurt situation.
Well, judging by the looks on the faces of Angle and Steiner, they're not going to have much fun with Supermax. And here comes Big Hernandez into the cage. Double clothesline takes them both down.
Well, you're going to have to work together because we know how strong and powerful this guy is, and he's fresh. But the bottom line is to beat him, you got to have that numbers advantage, and they've got it. And then there's only one person left after this. See how important it is for Kurt Angle and Scott Steiner, if they can, to eliminate Hernandez before the next entrance.
Hernandez sandwiches him in the corner, wraps his shirt around the neck of Angle, tosses him all the way across. He's got Scott Steiner up on his shoulders, drop down backbreaker.
The thing is when you get a hold of one, you've got to worry about the other guy. Kurt doesn't give Hernandez a chance to enjoy it or savor it. He's right on top of him.
Angle caught him unaware with the kick, with the boot, and then the big shoulder block sends Angle across the ring. Steiner in trouble. We don't think there's any way he's going to border toss Steiner. He's got him up.
Well, the bottom line is it's not how far you can border toss him or punt him or kick him. It's pinning him. And that's what Kurt Angle's going to do. Angle slam, and he's done it. Again, these two guys are waiting for the last person, and they've done this unbelievable.
Angle saves Steiner from elimination, then Angle slams and pins Hernandez, and you can see the cut on the face of Scott Steiner has been opened up. That cut goes back to Destination X. You remember he had his face covered last week. That's from the beating that he took at the hands of Samoa Joe.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's a good word to use for it. I mean, it's one of the most vicious things that we've ever seen. But look at this. They're getting a chance to catch their breath. Mike, even you've got to admit, how perfect was this game plan?
Game plan of the main event Mafia, including the elimination of Jeff Jarrett by Angle, who wasn't... Wait a minute.
What is this?
Jim Cornette is sending the King of the Mountain, Jeff Jarrett, back into the cage.
I mean, what kind of crap is this? How come this guy gets a second chance? This is unbelievable. He gets to get in this thing twice? What is going on? Unbelievable. This is wrong.
Second chance? Second time? No, this is his first time into the cage. You'll recall that it was Angle, who wasn't even in the match at that point, that attacked Jarrett and smashed that steel chair over his shoulder.
Well, the bottom line was Kurt Angle had to eliminate him, or else Jarrett would have done the same thing to him. He was just taking care of his own. The bottom line was he was out of there. He was eliminated, and now they're letting him back in. Oh, this isn't right.
Double team suplex, and you saw that Jarrett with the bad landing right on the injured shoulder. Steiner covers, and Jarrett digs down deep and kicks out.
Well, now it's a situation where these two are just going to have to work together and just finish the job. I mean, a part of you gives credit for the guy having the stones to get back out here. The bottom line is all the rules change when it comes to the founder.
Two, and
No way. Not even close.
Fighting against two men. Here comes the stroke on Big Papa Pump. Planted face first. Here's one. Here's two. Here's three. Steiner's out.
Steiner has been eliminated.
Oh, he's right into Kurt, though. Look at this.
Angle slam. Reversed into the arm drag by Jarrett. Then the running clothesline. Angle to his feet. Jarrett drops him. Doubles him over. Here comes the DDT. He can't. His shoulder gave out on him. Here's the roll-up. And Angle goes right into the ankle lock.
Tell you what, Kurt Angle always knows where that ankle is at all times, and he's got Jarrett.
Free leg escape by Jarrett as he kicks out of the ankle lock. Kick to the back of the head. Angle down. Jarrett's going to try and put him away. Here comes the stroke. Here comes the pin. Counter. 1, 2. Wait a minute. Steiner stops the count. Steiner's not even in this match. Steiner's already out. He was eliminated.
Well, the bottom line is obviously somebody threw the rules out of the window anyway, so you can't blame Scott Steiner. You got to do what you got to do, and now Scott Steiner.
He suplexed him on the injured shoulder.
1, 2. Kurt Angle's done it.
Jeff Jarrett has been eliminated.
Unbelievable. Kurt Angle going to be one of the two team captains at Lethal Lockdown, and with the damage that they've already done to Jeff, he knows there's no way Jeff. What is this?
Well, if my math is correct,
Don't mean your math. Screw your math. This is the 21st person. There's no way that Samoa Joe is allowed to be in this thing.
No. This is the 20th person. The only way you get to 21 is if you count Jeff Jarrett twice, and Jeff Jarrett only got into the cage once. And look at Joe unload on Angle.
I'll Tell you what, what's not fair about this is, in Kurt's mind, Jeff Jarrett was the 20th entrant. Didn't even have time to get mentally prepared for this. But that's not going to stop him as he's got him in the ankle lock.
Yeah, Angle's math is just as bad as yours. He uses the free leg to kick out, charges into the corner. Angle moves out of the way, up. Angle slam, he's going to take out another one.
Well, this is it here. Unbelievable.
Yeah, what's unbelievable is Samoa Joe's on his feet, and when Angle turns around, he's got a big surprise. Joe into the corner. Angle gets the elbow up. He got rocked by that kick. Muscle Buster. Here comes the Muscle Buster.
Kurt's got to find a way to get out of this if he has any chance.
No way out of the Muscle Buster. Samoa Joe wins it.
Samoa submission machine, Samoa Joe.
And Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle, they're the captains for Lethal Lockdown.
We need an explanation. We need Jim Cornette to come out here and explain why Jeff Jarrett was allowed in twice.
Stay with us. After this break, we'll talk with both Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle.
Highway robbery.
TNA Management's Jim Cornette joins us here at the broadcast table. And
We want to know why Jeff Jarrett was allowed back in. Why was Jeff Jarrett allowed a second chance?
Joby pawed all over me. I'll tell you why. Because he never got a chance to get in the ring for his first trial. It wasn't fair, so I gave him his period over again. I'm sorry. I didn't have time to alert the truck or send out an inter-office memo. And if I had him, he would have been the last one on the list, Don.
Oh, I'm sure those rules apply to everyone who's not the TNA founder.
let's go to JB with Kurt Angle now.
Have you got a problem?
I got nothing to say. Man, I don't believe it. I got nothing to say, man. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Jeff Jarrett, I eliminated you 3 times in that match. 3 times! You're the damn booker, you're the damn owner, you change the damn rules. How many times do I have to eliminate you? I did everything right. I eliminated you, Jeff. You were gone, and you caused me to lose. And Samoa Joe, we made a mistake. The Main Event Mafia made a mistake last time. We were supposed to end your career, and we didn't. But I guarantee, at Lockdown, we are going to end your career. I want to bring you. I want you to bring the Nation of Violence. I want you to bring everyone. And I hope to God that you bring Jeff Jarrett. Because we're going to bring you down. We're going to end both of your careers. Main Event Mafia will never die.
Jim, is TNA Management prepared for the potential takeover by the Main Event Mafia at Lockdown?
There's going to be remember, the blood's going to be on your hands. The blood's going to be on your hands because of your decision to let Jeff Jarrett back in there.
Let me tell you something, Don. I did what was right. I didn't do what was convenient. I did what was right. If you've got a problem or the Mafia, we'll have to suffer the consequences. But I've got faith in the front line.
Now let's hear from Samoa Joe.
Joe, first off, congratulations on your victory tonight. You just heard the words from the other Lethal Lockdown captain, Kurt Angle, and my question to you is this: as captain of your team, who will you choose to combat the Main Event Mafia?
Captain, I'm not interested in being a captain. I'm not interested in fighting the good fight. My only purpose for being here is to torture each and every member of the Main Event Mafia.
But Joe, if not you, who will the captain of your team be?
Lauren, that's not my concern. All I know is I'll be at Lethal Lockdown. And this will be coming with me.
Surrounding the gauntlet last week, it has been established that Kurt Angle will captain the Main Event Mafia 4-man team for Lethal Lockdown. What has yet to be determined is who will join Samoa Joe on the opposing side and who will be the team leader, since Joe's commitment to his nation of violence, his nation of one, is his top priority.
Last week, right here on Impact, Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe won the rights to be this year's team captains at the Lethal Lockdown. The plan was, over the next few weeks, the team captains would name their team members and those members would be facing each other in one-on-one competition. The first team with 2 wins is going to win the ever so important man advantage. That plan sounded real good on paper, but there's only one problem. Samoa Joe, the nation of violence, has agreed to be on the team, but he said he has no interest in being the team captain or choosing the other members. So as the founder of TNA Wrestling, it is my duty and obligation to name the team captain. It didn't take me long. It didn't take me long to come up with this decision. I would like to announce right now this year's team captain, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles.
Here in TNA, you'll recall back at Destination X, he added the Legends title to his previous reigns as X Division, TNA World Tag, and TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
AJ, with great pride, I made the decision to make you the team captain. So I've just got one last thing to say. You've got Samoa Joe as one of your members, and over the next few weeks, you've got to pick 2 more members to face Kurt Angle and the rest of the Mafia at Lethal Lockdown. Good luck.
I gotta tell you, Jeff, I'm honored. But I regrettably have to decline that offer. I'm not qualified to be team captain. What have I done? If anything, I've let you down. Jeff, it was you 7 years ago that started up this company. You put everything on the line. Your house, your money, everything. And you put it on a bunch of independent wrestlers who you believed in. Virtually a bunch of nobodies. You took a chance on me. You took a chance on Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, Eric Young, James Storm. We are the originals. And we let you down. So it's like this. I will be on Samoa Joe's team at Lethal Lockdown. But I think someone who believed in us from the beginning, believed in TNA, believed in a bunch of independent wrestlers, should lead us as team captain and Lethal Lockdown, and that's you, Jeff Jarrett. You lead us, and you will lead us into victory. And I guarantee you, we will not let you down, not this time.
Now what's this about? Just as AJ Styles' handshake seals the deal with Jeff Jarrett, just as we established that the TNA founder will be the captain of a Lethal Lockdown team that includes Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, Scott Steiner is out to interrupt. We know that Scott Steiner is on Kurt Angle's main event Mafia team at Lockdown, but where's the rest of the Mafia?
I don't know what the rest of the Mafia is, but I'm dying to hear what Scott Steiner has to say, because you know it's worth listening to.
Jeff, right now, you need to listen to AJ because he's telling you the truth. See, when you started TNA 7 years ago, it was filled full of nobodies and wannabes. And now, except for the Main Event Mafia, the roster is still filled with wannabes and nobodies. Now, Jeff, I didn't come out here as Big Papa Pump. I didn't come out here as Scott Steiner. I came out here as your friend of over 20 years. You see, when we first broke in this business, it was me and you going down the highway, trying to make a name for ourselves, trying to succeed in this business, and failure was not an option because that's the way we were raised. You see, you and I are just the same. You and I and the Main Event Mafia are just the same. Now, I understand you might be a little confused because Mick went crazy last week. You might be a little desperate because Mick's out of his mind, but there's no way you can trust the future of TNA with these young punks. You have nothing in common with these punks. You are just like me, Jeff. You are just like the Mafia. You see, another thing, Jeff. Over 20 years ago, I not only met you, I met Jill. I met your wife. And we were tight. You know this. I put her on a pedestal. I respected her, and I loved her. All right? And one of the last things she said to me was, "Help Jeff, please take care of my girls." All right? Now, I know you don't know that, but listen, she trusted me. She knew my heart. And now I'm asking you to trust me. You need to trust TNA and the future of TNA with me and the Main Event Mafia. You see, Jeff, I'm going to ask you a question. See, I was there when all your babies were born. I held them all, and I've rocked them to sleep. So I got to ask you this question. If ever was an emergency and you needed somebody, who could you trust with your girls? Whoa. I don't want you to answer that. I want you to ask Jacqueline. I want you to ask Jocelyn. And I want you to ask Jarrett that question. And then you'll have your answer. Jeff, you need to trust me. I've always had your best interest at heart. You need to come back to where you belong.
Well, hold on a second. You want to talk about trust? There's a roster full of wrestlers back there who you can trust, Jeff, and it doesn't include the Main Event Mafia. You trust your heart. You have faith in what you had a long time ago, 7 years ago. You have faith in the originals. What? Just because he took you down a path of memory lane, you're supposed to jump on the bandwagon with him? I don't think so. You do what's right. And I'll tell you what's right. That plan about who gets the advantage in Lethal Lockdown, I got an idea. How about me and you, Steiner, started off tonight in this very ring?
You want a match? You got a match.
It's JB with the Main Event Mafia.
Kurt. Real quick, I got to ask you about what happened there with Scott Steiner, informally inviting Jeff Jarrett to join the Main Event Mafia. Really?
Well, it took a couple weeks for the chips to fall into place, but now everything's crystal clear. You see, the landscape in TNA has drastically changed, all because Mick Foley waffled Sting over the head with a steel chair 2 weeks ago. Now that that happened, it's time for the Main Event Mafia to go to work.
Go to work, baby.
Work, right. Can you elaborate on that, please?
What are you, stupid, JB? Jeff Jarrett and Mick Foley had a plan at Destination X, and their plan was to sway Sting to come to their side. They figured with the power of Sting, Jarrett, and Foley, they could overpower the Main Event Mafia. Now, Jarrett, he was so close. Jeff Jarrett was so close. But Mick Foley went into business for himself by hitting Sting over the head with a steel chair. Now Mick Foley's lost in the chambers of his own mind. Sting is back with the Mafia, and Jeff Jarrett stands on an island alone. So Scotty Steiner went out there to tell Jeff there's a place he can go, a place where he belongs. And that's not with the originals. It's with the Main Event Mafia.
Home, baby, is home.
So Sting, everything fine between you two?
What are you talking about? Sting never left. The problem was me, all right? It was me. I was paranoid, so shoot me. But a couple of weeks ago, Sting stopped Jeff Jarrett from hitting me with that guitar. When he did that, he showed he was Mafia through and through. So tonight, on behalf of Sting, I'm going to go out there in front of the whole world, and I am going to issue Sting a public apology.
Right. You're going to apologize to Sting.
Kev, you got your role, right? Okay, Scotty got Jarrett. I have Sting. Kev, you have Jenna. All right, this is real important. The last thing we need is for her to invest her millions in TNA. Okay? Definitely when the Mafia could definitely receive a good donation from her. So what I want you to do is charm the pants off that. Okay? Now, Book, you lead us in the chair, baby. 1, 2, 3, respect.
It's all about respect, baby. It's all about respect. 1, 2, 3, respect.
I love when you
Jeff, I gotta be honest, this is all just a little bit too much for me. It's a little heavy when Scott Steiner, the Main Event Mafia, offers you a spot in the family. I know you guys have history, I know you go way back, but even that must have shocked you.
Shock? You can't afford to be shocked, JB. How do you afford logical business? Don't worry about being shocked. All we need to worry about is having fun. Fun, fun, fun till the daddy takes the T-Bird away.
Mick, get the hell out of my chair. What is wrong with you? I never thought I'd see the day that I would regret making the decision to allow you to buy into TNA. No, wait, I'm not done, Mick. Scott Steiner makes more sense than you do these days. This is ridiculous, utterly ridiculous. Maybe I should join the Mafia.
Well, maybe I've got a question for you. Are you really Double J? Or are you Double D? Because you sound like Dougie Downer to me, brother.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Mick? Do you realize how close we were at Destination X to taking the Main Event Mafia down? We were this close. I could see it in Sting's face. And then 4 days later, for no apparent reason, you decide to take his head off with a chair. And that sent us back months. Why, Mick? I don't understand.
No reason? How about repressed memories, Jeffrey? All I know is I ended up with a chair in my hand, and bingo! I damn near took the Stinger's head clean off, and I had fun. And Jeff, do you really want to tune into TNA and hear TNA presents big guys getting along, friendly conversations, discussions? We need the Mafia, Jeff. Come on.
I guess you weren't cut out to be a leader, were you, Mick?
Is that the decision you're making, Jeff? No. You and Sting have something in common. You're both making decisions about my future. The co-deciders of TNA. You know what? I'm going to make decisions, and I'm going to make a big one tonight. So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to show you I am cut out to lead this company. I've got work to do.
What was he up to?
What in the hell's he going to do now?
You know, Mick, I was thinking, and, maybe it's not my place to say it, but I think really you should reconsider this whole thing. I mean, make amends with Jeff Jarrett. He's pretty upset about this.
You know, JB, where I come from, we have a word for guys like Jeff Jarrett. Party pooper.
It's actually 2 words, Mick, but who's counting, right?
I think it's a compound word with a hyphen in it. But hey, JB, I'm sure you've written bestsellers I don't know about. Hey, wait. Joe, what are you doing?
I want them, Mick. I want every last one of them.
You want who, Joe?
The Mafia, Mick. And you can make that happen.
You know, Joe, as executive shareholder here at TNA, I think I can make that happen. Take the knife away and let me see what we can do.
That's why Scott Steiner is just going to try to wear him out, wait him out, take everything AJ's got, and then when the opportunity comes, he uses that size and strength advantage to get AJ Styles to submit.
And you can see that referee Mark Slick Johnson is giving AJ some leeway there in the corner, warning him repeatedly about breaking while Steiner's up against the ropes. But at the same time, you got to realize here what's going through Slick Johnson's mind. You talk about AJ with that unchanneled emotion. Can he turn that around and put it in his favor?
Well, he also knows that AJ Styles has a reputation of hitting him with a closed fist, so he's trying to keep an eye on that. I mean, he knows how important the matchup is, but you've got to watch AJ. You know, he's one of those that everybody just thinks he's just this angel, and when you really realize what he's all about, he'll take any edge he can.
Much like Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, and I don't think you'll deny that.
Well, you can see this is exactly what Scott Steiner wants. He wants you to get in close, just so that he can find an opportunity to take advantage.
You want to describe that low blow while you're at it?
What are you talking about? I mean, what he was able to do was...
That's enough. Who's going to get the early edge for Lethal Lockdown? More of Steiner and Styles when we return. And we are back on Impact. This is the continuation of the Lethal Lockdown Advantage Challenge matchup. Steiner pulled him into the corner. The knees to the midsection, the punches to the top of the head of AJ really having an effect and an impact. It's a desperation move by Styles, but it paid off as he got the boot up.
Well, even a blind squirrel finds an acorn every now and then, but that's one of those situations where, you know, he has to be desperate, and Scott just got himself too wrapped up in it. He was trying to finish him off. He could feel it. He was wearing AJ down, and he just charged in and caught one.
Styles trying to match Steiner punch for punch. Let's see who the better striker is right here as AJ connects with one, and then Scott catches him, and there's the kick. Here's AJ for the cover. Here's the pin. Steiner barely gets that shoulder up before 3.
A lesser man maybe, but Big Papa Pump. You know, it's one of those things where you realize you're going to find yourself in those situations, and look at that strength. Just shrugs him off like he's nothing.
Styles clash attempted by AJ Styles. Reversed with the back body drop by Steiner. Oh, and then AJ bridging suplex, 2 and no! How close can you come?
That was close, but I mean, unbelievable. Who can get out of that?
Unbelievable power by AJ Styles to suplex Steiner overhead and get the pin.
Well, not enough power, obviously, and you can see now, Scott, look at this. Scott Steiner just does what he wants. Here it is. Oh, that was 3.
AJ went for the Hurricane Rana, reversed into the power bomb by Steiner that led to the pinning predicament, the pin attempt. But as you saw, just the 2 count only. Steiner a little frustrated there with Slick Johnson, the cadence of the count. He thought he had 3, and I'm sure you're going to jump on the Main Event Mafia bandwagon. Go right ahead.
Well, I mean, we can all count. I mean, can it be more obvious who the referee's pulling for in a situation like that? But you know what? Main Event Mafia's been dealing with that from the beginning. It's just something they've always had to overcome, and they do.
Styles fights out of the corner. The reversal sends AJ in. He's able to float over the top of Big Papa Pump. Up, down across the knee with the backbreaker.
You've got to get to your feet here. This is one of those where it's a crucial time. AJ Styles, it was a situation, I think, where he should have tried to finish him off right there, but again, not using his head in that situation and allowing Scott Steiner to get to his feet.
Measure springboard, flying forearm shot. And as AJ was airborne, you saw the contact made with the referee. Did Steiner pull him in?
No, Steiner was showing some unbelievable quickness and able to get out of the way.
Kurt Angle down to ringside. Angle picks up a chair. Gonna slide it in to his Main Event Mafia mate, Scott Steiner.
Well, I mean, when you think about Lethal Lockdown, a chair's going to be nothing compared to all the different weapons that are going to be in there. That's why you need to be ready for it.
Watch out! Steiner swinging and miss. AJ connects with the Pele. And you notice that AJ...
What's Jeff Jarrett doing down here?
Jeff Jarrett down, and Jeff Jarrett takes Angle off the apron, and Jeff Jarrett walks Angle.
And look at this, here he is. He's condoning the fact that AJ Styles has got this chair.
And Slick Johnson is warning him, don't do it, AJ. Don't use the chair. Jeff Jarrett sees the same thing. He's saying you're going to get disqualified if you use the chair. He's trying to prevent AJ Styles from getting disqualified by the referee. That's what he's trying to do.
Well, all he's done is just cost AJ as he just had his head planted on that chair. Here it is.
Steiner tosses the evidence out of the way. Rolls on top and gets the 3 count.
Here's your winner, Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner.
Jarrett cost him. He cost AJ the match.
Accidentally cost him. Jeff Jarrett tried to help AJ. He tried to warn him that there was going to be a disqualification, but you're right, it cost him the match. Team Angle, Main Event Mafia takes a 1-0 lead. Let's go to JB with Sting.
I am here with the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, the Icon Sting. In just 3 weeks, Stinger, you're going to be facing the hardcore legend, Mick Foley, in perhaps your biggest title defense to date, inside the 6 Sides of Steel at Lockdown, April 19th in Philadelphia. However, tonight, Sting, because he can, Mick Foley has booked you one-on-one with Samoa Joe and his Nation of Violence. Your thoughts, please.
JB, it's hard for me to go there right now about Mick Foley because the truth of the matter is right now I got to be thinking about Joe. We've all seen him the last few weeks. It's obvious he's snapped. He's not playing with a full deck. But Mick, win, lose, or draw, I will survive because that's what I do, Mick. I survive. And next week, Mick, you're going to pay.
Turn here to TNA after being injured by the Main Event Mafia. That focus is unlike anything we've ever seen from Samoa Joe, and much like we have in recent weeks, he is immediately on the attack, and Sting is on the defensive right from the opening bell.
I mean, Samoa Joe's not about competition. He's not about fairness. He's just out here trying to hurt people, cripple people, keep people from feeding their family and having a career, and that's exactly what Mick Foley was thinking. He knew it was the right time to do this because there's no telling what Samoa Joe's going to do, and all he can do is help Mick Foley when it comes to Lockdown to have Sting have to deal with this.
Sting momentarily derails and stops this offensive onslaught. Going to turn it around into the Scorpion. Submission hold applied, but look how easily Joe broke that. Sting right on him. Clothesline sends him into the corner. Going to shoot him across. Here he comes. Sting catches him with a corner clothesline.
Well, you got to be impressed how Sting is held up here. I mean, Joe's just been coming out and just putting his will on everybody. That was one time where Sting made a mistake and got himself caught there by Joe, but Sting at least prepared for Joe ready, but he's got to get himself through this match here tonight because he's got so many more important things to look forward to, and that's, of course, April the 19th.
Remember, from the moment that he returned to TNA, Samoa Joe promised one thing, that he would gain revenge on the members of the Main Event Mafia that put him on the sidelines.
Well, absolutely. I mean, Joe's determined to take everybody out. You heard him go to Mick Foley and tell him what he wanted to do and how he wanted to just take them out one by one by one.
Whoa!
What in the world? Again, this guy's just crazy. He just has no sense of fairness whatsoever.
Referee Andrew Thomas tossed aside. He's called for the bell, and Samoa Joe disqualified. Rudy Charles comes in, and he gets caught with a knee, and you see that Earl Hebner puts on the brakes. Oh, muscle buster by Joe on Sting. You can ring the bell all you want. I don't think it's going to stop Samoa Joe.
Now, that's just what I'm talking about. It's not like about getting pinned. It's not about making somebody submit. It's just about hurting them, maiming them. And this thing that he's got, here comes Booker T into the ring. Thank God that somebody stopped this animal, this maniac.
Main Event Mafia backup in the form of Booker T to assist and aid the fallen Sting. Booker missed with the kick. Oh, but Joe just drilled him.
Joe is so focused on what he's trying to do, and again, trying to take the Main Event Mafia out one by one. Let's get security out here. Something, let's stop this madman.
Samoa Joe, he's cold, he's calculating, he's absolutely relentless. and now he slides the steel chair in, and you see that Sharmell is covering the body of her husband, Booker T, trying to stop any further damage.
Come on, Joe. Look, I know that look on his face it's just so unreadable, but come on, there's a woman there. Don't you even think about it. They've got to do something with this. Come on, no way. Don't do it. The guy's not even right. Look at his face. He's just not right. He's insane. Thank God.
Fortunately, Samoa Joe drops the steel chair. I guess you would say that cooler heads prevail here. Wait a minute.
What on earth? He just grabbed Sharmell. Oh, come on.
I'm sorry!
Look at this. He just grabbed her and he's taking her. He's just taking her right outside of the ring, outside of the building. What on earth is going on? Joe's lost it. He's absolutely lost it.
What's he doing here? Samoa Joe, as Don mentioned, taking Sharmell completely out of the impact zone.
He's gone way too far.
Booker T, I have to ask you, last week at the conclusion of the program, the last thing we saw was your wife Sharmell being hoisted over Samoa Joe's shoulder and being taken off. We haven't heard, we haven't seen her yet today. You haven't been saying anything to anybody. Can you give us some insight as to what happened?
You know, JB, normally I'm laughing and joking around. See, but this is serious, man. This is serious business. You see, I'm an entertainer. I'm the best entertainer you've ever seen in your life. See, but what happened last week had nothing to do with entertainment. You understand what I'm saying? See, my wife hadn't been the same since, man. Can't get one word out of her. You know, and I just gotta, put it in my mind. It's all up in my imagination as what happened. And tonight, I got Joe. And I want Joe to know what's gonna happen tonight. I want it to be all left up to your imagination, sucker.
You see, I may be the leader of my team at Lethal Lockdown, but tonight has nothing to do with beating Joe and gaining the man advantage. We all have families. We all know what this is about. So, Joe, I'm coming down there with Book, and I'm not leaving his side. You want to unleash your nation of violence? Unleash it on me, Joe. Let's see what happens. This tribal manslaughter ends right here, right now.
Joe, check this out. If Kurt's going out with Booker, I'm going out with you.
As far as you're concerned, my nation of violence, it's a nation of one.
Really?
Lethal Lockdown Advantage challenge, and I think that Joe's interaction with AJ Styles was so telling. Didn't want any help from AJ. I mean, at one point, those two were inseparable. We've got to ask what happened to Samoa Joe when he was away from TNA, when he was recovering from that main event Mafia beating.
Well, I'm not saying, Mike, but, we've all heard rumors. This guy came back just absolutely freaked out. He's going around scaring everybody with a Samoan tribal knife. I'm telling you, that team's in trouble. Let's be honest. That team's in trouble. Joe can't get along with anybody, and Jeff Jarrett, who's supposed to be the team captain, you gotta wonder where his loyalties lie. He's thinking about changing sides.
And we're still waiting on team captain Jeff Jarrett to name the fourth member. You talked about Samoa Joe. Will he be able to work in that Lethal Lockdown match with AJ Styles and Jeff Jarrett? You see the interference from outside by Kurt Angle. It seems as if lately everyone is Samoa Joe's enemy. And I've got to ask the question, can Samoa Joe be trusted in the 6 sides of steel in the Lethal Lockdown match in Philadelphia?
Hell no, he can't be trusted. I don't even think Samoa Joe knows what's going on in his head. But you gotta like what Kurt Angle did there. That's why he came down here, to protect Booker T and help him out.
And to also hand in a steel chair. You see Slick Johnson, you remember he warned AJ about using the chair last week, threatened to disqualify him, doing the same to Booker. But now AJ Styles comes down and cuts off Angle and takes away the chair from Booker.
I mean, look at it. AJ can't even take instructions from Samoa Joe. He told him to stay away. He doesn't need to be out here. Give me a break.
He just saved Samoa Joe from that potential beating with the use of the steel chair by Booker T. Here comes the X kick. Oh, into the snap slam. 1, 2. Samoa Joe wins it.
Here is your winner, Samoa Joe.
And in the process, he leads to the pin, leads to the 1, 2, 3. We're even at 1-1. And next week, we're going to have the rubber match to decide it. Who's going to take on Kevin Nash? Who's going to be that fourth member of Team Jarrett?
Well, that's just one of the decisions that Jeff Jarrett's got to make. And right now, Jeff Jarrett's mind is still clouded. I don't even know if he's going to make the decision of being there at Lethal Lockdown.
The body language of Samoa Joe confirms what he told AJ earlier. I don't need and I don't want your help.
Like I said earlier, can't quite put my finger on it, but there is something going on with these guys, and you can't figure they can be trusted at Lethal Lockdown.
That point, right. Listen, I've been meaning to talk to you. You don't seem like yourself. Something wrong? Mick bothering you? I mean, it's just me and Mick. No. It's not the Scott Steiner thing, is it? You're not considering this? No.
JB, excuse me. Hey, take you and the boys.
Hey, Scott.
Beat it. Why don't y'all get on out here? Leave me and Scott a little time for ourselves.
All right. Here with Jeff Jarrett. First of all, congratulations on this DVD coming out Tuesday, King of the Mountain. I've had a chance to see it. Fantastic. But what I really want to ask you is this. Earlier tonight, you asked me to leave when Scott Steiner came in here. What was going on there? Can you help me out?
JB, I'm not here to talk about that. But what I am here to talk about is that next week, right here on Impact, the captain of the team is going to name his fourth member. And guess what? Next week on Impact, that fourth member, that former TNA champion, will be taking on Big Sexy Kevin Nash for the ever so important man advantage at Lethal Lockdown.
Former TNA champion?
JB, that's all I can say right now. I got to go watch Mick in the main event.
Team 3D versus Beer Money Incorporated for Tag Team Dominance. And Mick Foley versus Sting for the TNA World Title Plus. It's Team Jarrett versus Team Angle in Lethal Lockdown. And remember, every match this Sunday to be contested in the 6 sides of steel cage.
2 weeks ago, I had a match with Scott Steiner and lost because of a miscue by you, Jeff Jarrett. We talked about it. Honest mistake, water under the bridge. I got it, man. I can deal with that. But it's the rumors in the back that I just can't get out of my head. Rumors that I don't want to believe. But rumors I can't get out of my head. Now, I'm not accusing you of anything, Jeff. It's not like that. I just want to make sure we're on the same page at Lockdown.
To survive at Lockdown, they better be on the same page. Is this a wise move by AJ Styles to publicly question the TNA founder and the man that he insisted be the team captain? Will this bring the team closer together or drive them further apart? And is it time for Jeff Jarrett to name the mystery man, the fourth member of their Lethal Lockdown team?
Hey, I know you're under a lot of pressure. I know that. I get it, man. Mick Foley acting all crazy. The young guys letting you down. Scott Steiner coming up with that whole friendship spiel. I get it, man. You're under a lot of pressure. I understand. I know any decision by you could make or break this company. I don't envy you, bro. I don't. I wouldn't want to be in your position. But when we're in that cage and the roof drops on us at Lethal Lockdown and we're all locked in there together, I just want to know, are you going to be on my side? Can you look me in the eyes and tell me that, Jeff?
AJ, I'm insulted that you would even ask that question. Hell, AJ, don't you remember? I named you team captain before you turned it back over to me. So let me ask you something. Would I have done that if I was planning on turning on you once we got inside the
Hold
steel
on
cage?
a second. I didn't say anything about you turning on me. You said that.
AJ, damn it, you implied it. And that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with the young generation here in TNA. Damn, AJ, where's the trust at? Where's it at? Do you remember who brought you into TNA? AJ, I've given you every opportunity to further your career, to help your livelihood, to help you become a man in this stinking business. In 3 days, AJ, look at me, 3 days before lethal lockdown, and you want to question my integrity? Damn, you got a lot of balls.
I apologize.
No, I don't want no apology. You want to question where my loyalty lies? You want to question what kind of leader I am? Well, you're going to find out tonight when the fourth member of Team Jarrett is revealed. And oh, by the way, AJ, he's a former TNA champion.
Oh, the main event mafia has to love any sign of dissension on Team Jarrett, with AJ questioning Jeff's integrity and his loyalty to the team, with Samoa Joe's nation of violence being a nation of one, and with the identity of the fourth member still to be announced. At this time, Team Jarrett looks to me like a team divided. And Don West, do you realize just how important the lethal lockdown advantage challenge is tonight when Kevin Nash meets Jeff Jarrett's man of mystery?
Well, it's so important to have that man advantage at lethal lockdown, but more importantly than that is to be cohesive as a unit. You look at the main event mafia here. I mean, these guys are on the same page. It's obvious. They trust each other. They watch each other's backs. Team Jarrett right now, nobody's on the same page. Everybody's arguing with everybody and accusing everybody of everything.
Jeff, I realize you're going through a lot lately, and I can sympathize with you. That's why I came out here at the top of the show, because I wanted to be upfront with you about something. Kevin Nash cannot wrestle in tonight's match against your fourth member of Team Jarrett for the man advantage at lethal lockdown. His elbow. The doctor will not clear him until this Sunday at the pay-per-view at lethal lockdown. So I am respectfully asking you if I can take his place in tonight's match.
Bull crap! Are you kidding me? If he can't wrestle, that's his problem, and he forfeits the match. We're a man up. We get the advantage and lethal lockdown. Sorry, buddy.
Whoa. I'm sorry, AJ. I didn't know you were in charge this week.
Whoa. He's not in charge. I am. Kurt, you know it, and I know it, that we came here tonight to deliver the third and final match for the man advantage this Sunday at lethal lockdown. And that's exactly what these people are going to get. And I appreciate you giving me the heads up on Kevin's medical condition. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make an executive decision. And I'm going to allow you to take his place tonight. Kurt, I'll tell you who your opponent's going to be later. Now let's get this show on the road.
Wow, talk about crumbling under pressure. Jeff Jarrett didn't even put up a fight.
Tonight, Kurt Angle faces a former TNA champion to determine the man advantage at Lethal Lockdown.
Before Ash, I'm inside the locker room of the Main Event Mafia. Kurt Angle tonight, a very important night for you as you head into the Lethal Lockdown Team Challenge. The rubber match, the deciding match tonight. If you are victorious, you will lead your team into battle this Sunday with the advantage in the all-important Lethal Lockdown matchup. However, we have yet to find out who your opponent is. We have no idea. In fact, all that Jeff Jarrett's saying is that it's a former TNA champion. Do you have any clue?
I don't know who my opponent is, nor do I care. But I know how important it is for me to win this match tonight so that we can have the man advantage at Lethal Lockdown. See, Kurt Angle is money, and I'm guaranteeing to my team that I will win tonight, no matter who it is.
I am here with Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner of the Main Event Mafia. And Scott, I have to ask you, recently you've been seen both on camera and off camera having some very deep, what appear to be very personal conversations with the founder of this company, Jeff Jarrett. Can you give us some insight as to what you guys are talking about, especially behind the scenes here?
Jeremy, you said what it is. It's personal, and it will remain personal between me and Jeff.
So any insight as to what you guys have been discussing? Maybe some hint?
Nothing. What me and Jeff talked about is between me and Jeff, and I don't have to say anything. I tell you what, I have a feeling before the night's over, Jeff's actions would do all the talking.
What does that mean?
AJ Styles, we are just moments away from Jeff Jarrett naming the 4th member of Team Jarrett. And I've got to ask you, do you have any idea who this might be?
No idea. I mean, he said he was a world champion. I don't know what's going through Jeff's mind, to be honest with you. I mean, sometimes it's like he's with us, and sometimes it seems like he's not. Look, in 3 days at Lethal Lockdown, I can't just believe that Jeff's going to be on my side. I've got to know. I know that he built this company on integrity. Mm-hmm. And I believe tonight that that same integrity is going to show.
Well, we all do, AJ. Best of luck.
Thanks.
The TNA founder and the Lethal Lockdown captain is headed to the ring. When we return, the King of the Mountain announces the final mystery member of Team Jarrett, who will meet Kurt Angle tonight.
The 4th member of his team, please welcome TNA founder, the King of the Mountain, Jeff Jarrett!
This is the moment that we've all been waiting for, that we've all been anticipating. It's time for Lethal Lockdown Captain Jeff Jarrett to name the 4th and final member for his team in Philadelphia this Sunday. Who is it going to be?
You know, over the last several weeks, I've been giving it a lot of thought on who I was going to name the 4th member of Team Jarrett, the 4th and final member. And I realize there's been some doubt cast over where my loyalty lies and who I'm going to be true to, if I'm going to be loyal to Team Jarrett or Team Angle. And I knew this decision had to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt where my allegiance lies. I also realize that this decision isn't about me. It's about the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. It's about the Nation of Violence, Samoa Joe. It's about the front line, the originals, but most importantly, it's about the TNA fans. And you know, as the founder of TNA, I get to make a lot of easy decisions and also get to make a lot of tough decisions. Well, this was an easy one. So it gives me great pride and honor to announce tonight the 4th and final member of Team Jarrett. And let's welcome him back, Christopher Daniels.
AJ Styles, I don't think that you will ever question the loyalty or integrity of Jeff Jarrett again. And as you could see by AJ's reaction, he is absolutely thrilled that his best friend, Christopher Daniels, is not only back in TNA, but Daniels will join AJ Styles, Jeff Jarrett, and Samoa Joe against the Main Event Mafia in Lethal Lockdown.
This just shows you how wishy-washy that Jeff Jarrett is. Obviously, this is a decision to placate AJ Styles for earlier deciding with Kurt Angle. I mean, the guy doesn't know what side he's on. I mean, at Lethal Lockdown, I got to be watching this guy because there's no telling what he's going to do.
The only clue that we had was that the Mystery Man was a TNA champion. And Christopher Daniels fits the bill, former multiple-time X Division and multi-time World Tag Team Champion. That bond, that relationship of our main event, Kurt Angle representing Team Angle against Christopher Daniels representing Team Jarrett. And this is what went down right before the commercial break as Kurt Angle takes over control of the match.
I'll tell you what, that's what he needed to happen. Christopher Daniels was just riding that wave of emotion from the crowd, and Kurt just weathered the storm like I mentioned, and then he took advantage of it, and again, he is just totally dominating right now. Let's show you this right now again. Look how he just lets Christopher Daniels come to him and then just releases him overhead.
So impressive with that belly-to-belly release suplex. And it's the Olympic gold medalist in control as Daniels tries to fight back. Keep in mind what's at stake in this match. It's the advantage. It's the man advantage for the Lethal Lockdown cage match this Sunday.
I'll tell you what, Mike, even you and I can agree on this. This Sunday's lineup is just absolutely incredible. When you think about all the titles being on the line, when you think about Beer Money 3D and what that means now, when you think about this match and all that it entails, and then throw in Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, whoever he's going to be, against Sting for the World Championship, folks, you have got to be there or make sure you get it on pay-per-view.
And you've got to join us for our live Lockdown Countdown show directly from Philadelphia 30 minutes prior to the pay-per-view at 7:30 Eastern. It's available on cable, it's available on satellite, and it's also available on the internet at TNAWrestling.com. We'll have all the late-breaking news, plus Danny Bonaducci steps inside the 6 sides of steel against Eric Young as Daniels connects, and Daniels covers, and Daniels gets a 2 count.
I'll tell you, most people would think that would be it, but Kurt Angle's one of those that he can hear the referee slap that mat. He times it perfectly, and he gets that shoulder up in time. That's just what makes him so great. He always hears the cadence of the count.
Daniels misses with the open hand palm thrust. Angle kicks him from behind, but then walks right into a clothesline. Pin, Daniels on top. Oh, barely did Angle get the shoulder rolled.
And Daniels was holding that arm down, and Kurt Angle was still able to get the shoulder up in time. This is just pure willpower.
What a message this would send to the entire main event mafia if Christopher Daniels can beat Angle, and Angle stops his momentum with the DDT. Here's the cover. Here's Angle. No, there's still life left in Daniels.
Tell you what, these two guys, they represent what TNA's all about. Kurt Angle, the godfather of the main event mafia, taking control of the situation, making sure that he got Jeff Jarrett to put him in that match because he doesn't trust anybody but himself to win and get that man advantage.
Perfect counter to the Angle slam. Daniels then connects with a kick to the back of the head. And now Daniels is trying to regroup and clear the cobwebs and take advantage of Angle being down.
I mean, both these guys, they know how important this is. You can see them. They're both exhausted. I think mentally, just knowing what's coming up this Sunday. But you can see that look in Kurt's eye right there. He just got that something extra.
Daniels takes Angle up, right into the pinning predicament. Angle shoulders down, but no! He gets him up before 3.
Kurt Angle realizes what's at stake in this match, how important it is for the main event mafia, especially the main event mafia, to have that man advantage, to have that experience edge, and to always have that numbers game in your favor.
Top rope moonsault. Daniels lands on his feet. Angle, quick go behind, connects with the suplex, and maintains the grip. He's going to go back to the well a second time, and the back of Daniels' head crashing on the canvas.
Kurt Angle trying to put it away and inflict some damage to Daniels to boot. Here's that third, and he just flips him all the way over on his stomach. Gonna turn him over. Could this be the man advantage?
Amazingly, Daniels is able to avoid the 3 count, and you see the reaction from Angle. He's throwing a fit.
Well, he's throwing a fit because I think he felt that was 3. It was awful close, but Kurt Angle, though, up to his feet. He knows what he's got to do here.
I think it was the frustration of not being able to put Daniels away with the 3 count. European uppercut rocks him. Daniels comes back off the ropes. He's dazed, and Angle catches him once again, snaps his head back, and a 3rd time. Oh, quick backslide. Daniels has got him. 2, no.
Everything that Christopher Daniels does, Angle has an answer for it. Wow, look at that.
Angle slam right into the pin,
1,
right into 2. He got the shoulder up again. How close can Kurt Angle come to winning this match?
Kurt Angle made the mistake there. He celebrated too early. He thought he had the victory, and he knew what it would mean to the main event Mafia. He won't make that mistake again. You can be promised of that.
The guts, the courage, the spirit of Christopher Daniels showing through to this point, but now Kurt Angle has got him in the ankle lock. Oh, but Daniels uses his free leg to break it.
I mean, there's no quitting either of these 2 guys. I mean, it's just so much at stake for this Sunday, and they're both just jockeying for position.
And Daniels gains the position, rolls through. Count 1, count 2, count 3. Christopher Daniels did it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, gaining the advantage for Team Jarrett and Lethal Lockdown, Christopher Daniels.
The 4th and final member of Team Jarrett, joined by his best friend AJ Styles. The celebration, Team Jarrett has the man advantage at Lethal Lockdown. What an accomplishment for Christopher Daniels. And the balance of power can shift in one night at Lockdown. The Mafia going down to Team Jarrett and Mick Foley.
I wouldn't be so sure, Mike, today. Don't ever underestimate the main event Mafia.
Kurt, take your hands off that man. Calm down, calm down. Just stop manhandling the officials. I know you're upset. I know why you're upset.
You saw it. My shoulder was up.
I was standing in the back of the impact zone and I was watching the match, and I may have had a different vantage point, a different angle on the situation than referee Rudy Charles.
He's a son of a bitch.
Stop it!
Change it. Change it now.
What? I saw something. Stop it, stop it. I saw something different than you saw. It may leave me with no other choice but to
change it and reverse the decision, you stupid son of a bitch.
It may leave me with no other choice but to say, Kurt Angle, you're a loser. The decision stands.
Jarrett, get your ass out here! Jarrett! Get back here now!
And I'm being informed that Jeff Jarrett is headed to the TV production truck.
And damn it, he better make the right call!
Jarrett! Jeff Jarrett, the owner of TNA, I am asking you, as one of your wrestlers, to come out here right now and make this justified. I want you to watch the replay and get your butt out here now.
As we went to break, we received word that Jeff Jarrett was entering the TV truck. One would presume that he had a chance to watch a replay to review the pin.
You mean the controversial pin? He's coming out here and he better make the right decision. It's time for Jeff Jarrett to man up here.
Kurt, listen. I just came from the truck. I've watched the replay from several different angles. Booker, shut the hell up when I'm talking. Kurt, come here, listen to me. Scotty's between me and Kurt. Listen to me. I've watched it over several times. I realize what's riding on this decision. I realize that this is going to affect all 8 of our careers, possibly. I realize this determines the man advantage. Roll the tape, Keith. Roll the tape. Daniels initiated the offense right there. He initiated the offense. There's a 3 count right there, Kurt. He initiated the offensive move, Kurt. You know it.
Right there, right there.
Kurt, as the founder of TNA, I realize, like I said earlier, I have to make some easy decisions and some hard decisions. And whether Jeff agrees with it or not, I have to make the right decision. Therefore, the winner of the match is Kurt Angle.
Yes! The right call! He did it! Yes!
Just when we thought that Jeff Jarrett had answered any possible questions about his loyalty to Team Jarrett, this controversial situation arises where Jarrett overrules Jim Cornette and gives Team Angle the man advantage for Lethal Lockdown against Team Jarrett.
I mean, look at those guys. There's no question about it. There's no way that Daniels and AJ can trust Jeff Jarrett. Things are going from bad to worse for Team Jarrett right now.
Lockdown is going to be epic. The stakes just got higher. Who's going to take control this Sunday?